العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Like the sister said, I intended to tell my story, but to be honest, I don't think it's very relevant today, because it's a shame. I think the topic is the biggest shame, to be honest, to actually think that people have the notion that Muslim women are actually oppressed is a joke, to be quite honest. But because it is the topic today, inshallah ta'ala, I will touch on it as best as I can. In the dictionary, the definition for oppression is prolonged, cruel or unjust treatment or control. A region shattered by oppression and killing. The state of being subject to treatment or control, mental pressure or distress. Her mood had initially been alarm and a sense of oppression. Now, in the world, we obviously know that people are oppressed, but to single out Muslim women being oppressed doesn't make a lot of sense, because like the brother touched on, I think that Western women are the ones that are oppressed, and to think that like I say, a woman that can wear a black gown, doesn't need any type of Nike ticks or Gucci tags or Louis Vuitton symbols, can become a wife that has rights, can be a queen in her home, can basically not live a life of luxury if her husband has the means to do it, and has the potential and the means and like I say, a pathway to Jannah, to paradise. And like we know, paradise, the last person that goes there will have a property alone that's 10 times the size of the whole earth. So I don't understand where the oppression falls in. But okay, let's touch on some more things now. They say that, like I say, with the face veil and whatnot. But like we know, the Muslim women and the Muslim men are some of the most beautiful people in the world. So why are all these people getting married? Why are these people having, like I say, successful relationships, having beautiful families, having careers, living their lives, traveling the world, seeing the world, and a generally like happy people in general? I don't see how these people are oppressed. Now let's look at my old lifestyle, because like I say, we was going to talk about my story. So I'll tell you one aspect of my story. I'm not going to go into details, but to cut the long story short, it was a life of crime that led to a life of the music industry, and that led to Islam. But during that life of crime and that life of being in the music industry, I'm not going to speak about myself in general, but let's speak hypothetically for someone else. That in that world, there's a lot of women in that world. How are the women treated in that world?
Subhanallah.
In that world, a woman, sometimes a man won't even remember her name. But he will sleep with her, he will see her naked body, he will know if she's got a mole on her bum, the right side cheek or the left side cheek. He would have been in her house, know her bedroom, he'd have done things that some even married couples don't do to that woman. But he wouldn't even know her name. If she rang him the next day, he probably wouldn't even pick up the phone. Maybe if you picked up the phone, he might even pass the phone to his friend and say, you talk to her now, it's your turn. When these women are seen in nightclubs, they're wearing clothes that are not really clothes. Because clothing should actually clothe you. So how are these women treated in the nightclubs? They're groped. If someone doesn't basically reciprocate to their advances, maybe they get champagne poured on their hair, maybe they get called a promiscuous woman, and in the worst way possible that they'll be called that. And like we know the terminologies, so I don't need to give you the terminologies. And like I say, and if they do follow on with any advances, what happens to them at the end of the night? They go home, they sleep with this person, and like I say, the next day, the person might not even pick up the phone. Why do these women do this? Okay, now let's get to a real oppression now. Because of the society that we live in, but that they choose to abide to, because like I say, we all live in the same society, especially Muslims and non-Muslims. We all live in England, we all live in America, we all live in whatever part of the world you live in. But some of us choose to fall for the tricks of the media, and some of us don't. So what happens to the people that fall for the tricks of the media, that are so-called free people? Like I say, they want to be Beyonce, they want to be Rihanna. Do you know Rihanna? Do you know Beyonce? Do you know these people? Like I said, I was in the music industry. I've come across a lot of these people. I'm not going to expose these people to on a different note, but the truth is, half these women are devil worshippers. They are raving, and the only word to call them is a prostitute. Because a prostitute is a woman that sells her body, and she sells herself. So that's what these women are. These women are devil worshippers and glorified prostitutes. So where's the freedom in being a prostitute when you know that you might not get your next record might not come out unless you sleep with X, Y, and Z. Your new clothing might not come out if you don't sleep with X, Y, and Z. You're not going to sell X amount of records if you don't show 95% of your body. Not even 95, 98% of your body. And in some cases, all of your body. Like we saw Erykah Badu, someone that was respected in the music industry, someone that was revered for her musical talents and whatnot, reduced herself to walking down the street naked in a music video just so she could sell some records. So I don't understand. So we're going from a lady that doesn't even have to wear makeup, doesn't even need to do her hair in the morning, but she can get a husband like that. And I'll tell you a story as well, something happened recently. And let's be real, there's no point. Like I say, a friend of mine went to marry my little cousin. And like I say, in my old life, if someone said they went to marry my cousin, or we want to look at my cousin, but over the phone in my face, that means I'll be coming to see you tonight to do something very horrible to you, because there's no way you can look at my cousin. Even let alone, you might not see tomorrow. No one could ever phone me and say that they want to marry my cousin. Be my cousin, look at my cousin, talk about my cousin. It's not going to happen. It's a big problem. But because of Islam, and because I know that the women actually have rights, they're not oppressed. They're very glorified in Islam. People might not choose to follow Islam, but that's the truth, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter what people are portraying. Like I say, there's a lot of bad doctors, a lot of bad engineers, a lot of bad architects. It doesn't mean that architecture is wrong, or medicine is wrong, or these things are wrong. There's just people that don't actually do it properly. So like I say, this brother contacted me he went to marry my cousin, and like I say, because he was a good Muslim man, a good guy, and I could vouch for the guy. I was more than happy for him to go ahead. But before he actually even saw my cousin, knew my cousin's name, seen her, spoke to her, he had to speak to me. He had to speak to her little brother. Then he wanted to speak to her big brother. Then he went to meet her mother before he even spoke to this woman. So what type of women get this type of treatment in this world? The only person I can really think of that gets this type of treatment is the Queen. You can't go to the Queen, you can't go see the Queen in the street, grab her bum, ask her for her number, say what's going on, babes. Come on, are you serious? This is the Queen. So who gets treated like the Queen in society? The so-called oppressed women. But does this actually add up? If the oppressed women get treated like the Queen, and the so-called free women get treated like worse than animals, because even an animal, you won't go and just touch an animal, you won't just go and touch a dog. You have to go to his owner, maybe get friendly with his owner, and then maybe you can stroke the dog. So women that are supposed to be free are treated worse than dogs. And like I say, to step on this further now, because like I said, a lot of the Muslim sisters are actually admiring these women. And they want to be like these women. But let me tell you something, sisters and brothers as well. And it's for the sisters to appreciate themselves, and for the brothers to appreciate the sisters. Yeah? There's a lady called Maryam. She was the mother of Jesus, and like I said, no matter what religion we come from, no matter if you believe in God or don't believe in God, these are historical figures. Jesus was someone that was here. He's a historical figure, like I say. And like we know, she's one of the 4 women that is known as the best woman of mankind. Look at her depictions. Who does she look like? Who is the best woman of mankind? And obviously, like I said, even in Islam, we don't believe in depictions, but they are here anyway, whether we like it or not. There's depictions of the Virgin Mary in Christianity, and whoever else wants to be brave enough to depict someone of such a high stature that they've never seen in their life anyway. But the bottom line is, we have descriptions of these people. We know the time that they lived in, and the customs that they abided by. So we know how she dressed, how she carried herself, and what she strived for. So who was the best woman of mankind like? Who did she look like? Who did she pray to? What type of lifestyle does she live? It sounds a lot similar to the Muslim women. It doesn't sound like these free women. So like I say, no matter what, and the saddest thing that's always infuriated me, to think that in Christianity, and it's no disrespect to Christianity, but it's the reality of it. To think that the best people in Christianity, are, like I say, especially in Catholicism, are the priests and the nuns. So why are the best people in your religion are not even allowed to have children? This sounds like a oppression on your future. So the so-called Western world that like I say, that outside Islam, that sounds like an actual attack on your actual future. Because if the gays and the bums and alcoholics and the people that just come out of jail are allowed to have kids, what chance do you have? Now now it makes sense why you do believe in this original sin, malarkey, to be honest. Because that doesn't make any sense. If a child is raised a certain way, that we've seen time and time again throughout society and throughout history, that a child has got a child's upbringing and the way that the child lives his life in the future has got a lot to do with his upbringing. So all this original sin, we need to take this thing out of our minds, because it's rubbish. It's rubbish. But like I say, how can the Muslim women be oppressed if they are emulating the best women of mankind? They are treated like queens. They are women that don't even need to wear makeup, and they can get a husband like that. A man is not going to disrespect a woman like that if he fears Allah. If he does that, like I say, that's on him, and you have to answer for his actions. But the bottom line is we have to generalize what we're talking about. Like I say, the bottom line is, like, the brothers, and this is for the brothers as well, you need to understand as well this, and the sisters need to understand this, because if you don't understand this, you're not going to appreciate such a great creation that Allah's put into this earth. A creation that can create by the will of Allah. A creation that can create. A creation that, like I say, that made you, that you came out of. Trust me, us Muslim guys that feel like we don't oppress, no, we're not going to oppress any woman. And if we make a mistake, then may Allah forgive us, we're human. But if we follow our religion, and we follow the ways of the Prophet ﷺ and the commands of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, yeah, like I say, there will be no oppression. Because like the brother said previously, the best of those are the ones that are best to their wives. This is our religion. So where is the room for oppression? I don't understand. Even like I said, I'll tell you another story. And Allah forgive me if this story is not true, but as far as I know it is true. A sheikh from Morocco asked about a young boy that he knew. He said, where's this boy? I heard he went to Morocco, how is he doing? I haven't heard from him, haven't seen him since, it's been many years. And the brother said, he basically hit the jackpot. He's living life, he's basically a millionaire, he's in America, he's living his life, he's happy. He said, what happened? He said, this brother was in an elevator in a skyscraper building in New York. He was traveling up the elevator, and there was many people in the elevator. But like we know, a skyscraper is very tall. So bit by bit, people are leaving the elevator. They're leaving the elevator, they're leaving the elevator. But this young boy is planning to go to the top of the building. So by the time he gets to the top of the building, it's him and a very beautiful woman alone in this elevator. This young boy fears Allah so much, not young man, fears Allah so much that he doesn't even know what this woman looks like. Because like we know in Islam, we're not permitted to look at women that are not ours. We have to lower our gaze and give the woman the respect she deserves. And we're not supposed to be stared at and looked at like she's a piece of meat or in Nando's. It doesn't make sense. Licking your lips. It doesn't make any sense. We have respect for them. We don't treat them like this. So like I say, this young man had this respect for this woman because he followed Islam, lowered his gaze, didn't look at this woman. So when he left the elevator, the woman rushed out after him and said, excuse me, am I not beautiful? Can you tell me that, am I not beautiful? He said, I don't know if you're beautiful. She said, but I don't understand, like every man that's ever been along with me has ever tried to rape me or tried to get close to me or kiss me or he tried to do something wrong to me. So like, what's wrong with me? Why am I not beautiful? He said, at the end of the day, I fear Allah. My religion permits me not to look at you. You're not my wife, you're not mine. I don't have the right to look at you. She said, how can a religion that doesn't even permit you to look at me be a religion that condones killing and violence and oppression? How can this be a religion that doesn't even permit you to look at me, condone killing, violence and oppression? You said, you know what? Please, marry me now. Marry me now. Like, the way you are, you obviously I don't know, Allah knows best. He probably was a good looking boy. The Moroccan brothers, they're good looking brothers. Alhamdulillah, I'm saying, mashallah. But she said, marry me. And he said, I can't, you're not Muslim. She said, listen, I said, how do I become Muslim? I want to be a Muslim now. Because if this is your religion, this is what I want. Allahu Akbar. Just from this simple act of respectful women and revering them the way they should be revered. But like I say, when you see the Queen, you don't stare in the Queen's face. You don't get up in her face and stare in her face. You don't touch her bum. You don't ask her for a number. You don't call her babes. Or darling, or yo, babe, yo, gal. You don't say these things. And this is how the Muslim was supposed to be treated. So where is the oppression? Where is it? I don't know. Please tell me where it is. Because like I said, there's bad people, and people need to understand that there's bad people. And when are people going to grow up and realize that there is bad people? It doesn't mean that, like I say, you check the religion is from Allah. How can the religion have any faults? Does it make any sense to you? Allah is the greatest, the most known, the all-knowing, the most wise, the all-seeing, the all-hearing, the Al-Hakim, the Al-Kareem. Every type of attribute that is of the highest stature of existence is what Allah is. So how can there be anything wrong with his religion? Like I said, there's a picture going around on Facebook now. You see a lollipop, and there's one lollipop with the wrapper on, and there's one lollipop with the wrapper off. What's happening to the lollipop with the wrapper off? There's a lot of flies on that lollipop. All these things make sense. Take the time to understand it, and this is for the Muslim sisters as well. Don't put in the niqab and the hijab or the jilbab for the sake of it and not even know what you're doing it for. Know why you're doing this, because like I say, this is something, for one, it's a uniform. Like I say, if I'm a policeman, even if I'm not a policeman, if I walked in here with a policeman's uniform, you'd think I was a policeman. If I came in here with a little thong on and a bow tie, you'd think I'm a stripper, and I'm not a stripper. But that's what you'd think. You're a Muslim woman. Your deen, your way of life is the way of life of the best of man, of the best of people that ever walked this planet. Whether it be Islam, Christianity, Judaism. Why do you think you see these Jewish women wearing wigs? They don't shave in their hair, they wear wigs because they know they're supposed to cover their hair, but they want to find loopholes. May Allah make it easy for them. But they wear wigs because they know they're supposed to cover their hair. The nuns cover their hair, Mother Teresa covered their hair. Check the depictions of the Virgin Mary, she covered her hair. What is the big deal? The women, our Muslim women want to be like the best of mankind, but they're oppressed. They want to get married, they want to be, and the thing that is so funny is the thing that, say what, 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years ago, maybe closer, maybe further, every woman's dream was to go to school, get an education, to marry her high school sweetheart, get married, have a big house, have a big family, khalas, finished. That was her dream. So what a beautiful religion that gives that woman her dream, but gives her another dream to think of, Jannah. That she does this properly, she follows the rules, she follows the guidelines, she pleases her husband, she pleases her Lord, she does the right thing throughout her life. If she makes mistakes, she asks for forgiveness, and she's promised something that we can't even imagine. So where's the oppression? A woman, like I say, that has to, like I say, jump and jump at any little magazine that comes out. Any magazine that comes out, she has to change her appearance. She has to, like I say, like the brother said, she has to chop her nose, she has to chop her breasts, her bum, her legs. This is ridiculous, this is disgusting. That this is what society has reduced women to. And women are the grace of creation. I would never even put myself at the same level as a woman. I'm sorry, because it doesn't make sense. A woman that creates, a woman that bore the prophets, a woman that bore me, that bore you. You're not better than this creation. You're not better than it. And like I say, so the women, you need to understand your role. You need to understand your importance and take advantage of it. Like I say, a woman are not oppressed. They like education. They like to have careers. Just do it in the right way. But the best thing you can do is to be a good mother. That's where your rewards are. Be a good mother. Give society a chance. Give the future a chance. And the brothers respect these women, and understand these women, and love these women, and protect these women. Because like I say, these are your sisters, these are your daughters, these are your mothers. And like I say, how long have I got left now? I'm sure I finished. I've definitely finished. Well, like I say, I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna tell you one more story before I finish, and it's for everyone. And for the non-Muslim people, this might not, you might not take heed to this, but I think that everything that we said should be making a lot of sense. Because like I say, that we can look at this in the most practical sense. That if you're a mother and you have a child, and you clothe the child, you feed the child, you teach the child, you give the child air, sight, internet, everything, and the child doesn't even wake up in the morning and say good morning to you, or go to sleep and doesn't say good night to you, you're going to be in a very bad situation. So like I say, I'm sorry that us Muslims keep telling about the hellfire and the paradise and whatnot, and the punishments if you don't accept Allah. But it's a reality, because that's what God is doing for you every day. And if your child did that to you, you would want to punish your child. So don't get upset with us when we're telling you your situation. And I'm sorry to be blunt, but it's a reality. You've got to give everything that you've got. You didn't fall out of the sky. You didn't come out of a Christmas cracker. Yeah, you came here from God, whether you like it or not. You can call it consciousness or energy or whatever you want to call it. It's God. Get over it. His name is Allah. Get over it. He made you, accept him, and do the right thing. He let you, every night you go to sleep, you die, your soul's left your body. By the mercy of Allah, you wake up. So you better be grateful. Simple as that. I'm sorry to be blunt, but people need to stop being grateful for your situation. But I'll leave on this last story that a man travels on a journey. He's with his wife, his daughter, and his son. He's driving. He sees a man on the side of the road. Says, pulls over, says, who are you? He says, I'm the money. So they say, oh, he looks at his family, oh, should we bring him with us? They're like, yeah. He's definitely gonna make this trip a lot of fun. We definitely need the money. We definitely need him. Bring him along. He proceeds with his journey. He's driving more. Sees another man, pulls over. Who are you? He says, I'm pleasure, desires. Looks at his family. He doesn't even need to ask. They say, yeah, bring him. He's definitely gonna make this trip a lot of fun. Definitely. We definitely want desires and pleasure. Driving a bit more, sees another man. Says, who are you? He says, I'm fame, status, power. Turns his family, says, should we take him along? They say, yeah, we definitely want some of that. Definitely bring him along. He's gonna make this trip very fun. Proceeds a bit more now, sees another man, but this man is very strange. He's a bit reluctant to pull over, but he pulls over anyway. Who are you? He says, I'm the Deen Islam. Turns his family, like, should we bring him along? They say, nah. We don't need him with us. He's gonna make our trip very hard. He's gonna burden us, talk about halal, haram, hijab, the beard. What we do, they're gonna enjoy our journey. When we come back, we'll pick him up when we come back. He will still be waiting there, don't worry, he'll be there. Drives a bit further, a man just stops in the middle of the road, stop! Tells the man to get out of the car. He says, I'm sorry sir, but your journey's finished. Looks in the car, says, but where's the Deen Islam? Where's the Deen Islam? He says, oh, I'm sorry, I left him back there, let me go back and get him. The man says, no, that's impossible, it's too late. You can't go and get him now. And you got to meet Allah now, and that's the only thing that would have benefited you. But you make sure you took the money with you, the fame, the power, the success, the pleasure, the desires, your wife, your children, but you didn't think to take the deen. And now you're going in front of Allah, and that's the only thing that would have benefited you. So the man says, who are you? And he says, I'm deaf. And I'm the one thing that you didn't anticipate on this journey. And now you have to go back in front of Allah. That's the only thing that would have benefited you was your deen. And what makes things worse, look back now. Look, have a look back. So when he looks back, he sees his family, he sees the money, the pleasure, the desires, the fame, the power. Casually drive off and leave him. So like I say, how much of us are leaving our deen behind us? How much of us are doing this? How much of us are falling into this category? And for the non-Muslim people, like I say, it is what it is. But the bottom line is, you wasn't here to make money or to womanize or to have a career. There's nothing wrong with having careers or gaining or making money. There's nothing wrong with these things. But you're here for a reason. So before it's too late, know what you're here to do. Do it, and politely do it before you're forced to do it when your time comes. Thank you for listening to me. Make dua for the sisters and inshallah ta'ala, Allah will make this a means of a sadaqah jariyah for them to see them into their graves and to the hereafter. Thank you for everyone coming. Make dua for me. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.